was a controlled experiment in quiet, in calm, and self-contentment. Each variable measured, each outcome known. A predictable world I had sown. A hypothesis of a life alone in the safety of my lab called home. Then you were the unexpected spark, a reaction lighting up the dark. Not an explosion, but a gentle glow. A compound I didn't know that my soul was waiting to combine with a formula as simple as your mind. In the lab called love, a quiet reaction we're both fond of. A peaceful bond, a thrilling test where two lonely hearts are blessed. It's not chemistry, it's alchemy, turning my lonely me to we in this lab called you and me, where I'm finally free. The beakers hold a different brew, tinted now with shades of you. The notes I keep are softer now, recording each and every vow. Not of data, but of grace, in the quiet of our shared space. And they can chase the grand discovery, the Nobel Prize, the frantic flurry. I have found my quiet science in a peaceful, sweet alliance. The greatest breakthrough I have known is that I don't have to be alone in this experiment of heart and soul. You have made me finally whole. In the lab called Earth, a gentle thrill and sacred plus, a steady bond, a proven test where two lonely hearts find rest. It's not magic, it's a truth of my lonely, restless youth, transformed by your gentle art. In this lab called heart, lab called love, lab called home. Finally, a perfect reaction. No more experiments, just us proven.
The moving boxes are all stacked against the wall. Sunlight paints the empty rooms a golden, quiet hall. No more echoes of our voices bouncing off the beams, just the ghost of all our half-remembered hopeful dreams. I pour a glass of something cheap, sit down upon the floor, trace the scratches that our table made upon the door. A catalog of little wars and making up again, the quiet poetry of where our story once began. And I know we're through, and I know you're gone, and this old child just finally drawn. But darling, in this heart see the painted shutters blue, the color that you swore you'd fight the whole world to choose. And I smile, not with sadness, but a weary kind of grace for the two young, scared-up kids who tried to claim that space, who hung the crooked pictures, planted seeds that never grew, but learned the kind of love that makes you feel both old and new. And I know it's over, and the door is closed, and down a separate road we go, but standing here, just me and all the dust, I can't help but feel this swell of trust. We did it! We built a temple out of borrowed time and old regrets. We did it! Lit a fire in the darkness that the world hasn't put out yet. We took a wrecking ball of feeling to our carefully guarded walls, and for a little while we had it all. Yeah, we did it. And maybe love's not meant to last forever in one form. Sometimes it's just the shelter through the storm, a sacred temporary space to grow, a truth that only we two will ever know. So I'm not crying for the end, I'm raising up a glass to the beautiful, impossible thing that had to pass. So let the new keys jingle, maybe enough slimes his hand. Let Ivy climb the trail, is where we plan. 'Cause look at what came from our foolish, fearless try. Look at the giants that we were, you and I. We did it! We wrote a song the world will never get to hear. We did it! Fought the gravity of doubt and pulled our heaven near. We took a leap with no net, just our hearts screaming go. And for a little while, it wasn't just a show. Oh, my love, look what we did. So here's to the blueprint, here's to the scar, here's to knowing exactly who we are, because we did it. We really, really did. Had a life of measured beats, of silent drives and solo seats. My heart a neat and tidy room, with space enough for all the gloom. I called it peace. I learned the art of being one, not two, just part of my own solitary scene, where loneliness was soft, unseen. Then you arrived, not with a plea, but with a simple certainty of someone who just belongs right in the space took a chair across from mine and turned my solitary line into a shared and steady rhyme. 'Cause it's the dizzy calm of my person here, the breathless joy, the crystal clear. It's selling I've a lifelong fear into a truth I hold so dear. It's not a need, it's not a want, it's the quiet thrill of no more haunt, of lonely ghosts in empty air. When my person's here, just my person's here. The coffee's brewed for two, not one. The morning's battles finally won, not with a shout, but with a sigh. As you catch my eye across the rye, toast of a sun-drenched simple dawn. The lonely nights completely gone, replaced by this. You're steady near, the greatest thing I'll ever hear. And they can sing of wild and free of storms that rage and break the levee. But I found heaven in the leaning on the sofa, in the meaning of a shared life, a knowing glance, this ordinary true romance, where the greatest thrill I've ever known is never being alone. Oh, it's the dizzy calm of my person here, the settled soul, the bright and clear, the end of every single fear, and just the knowing you are near. It's not a plea, it's not a prayer, it's the quiet truth beyond compare, that after all the lonely years, the answer's simply my person's here. My person's here. Oh, is my person here? Finally, my person here. I knew my shadow on the wall, the longest one of all, a silent friend in morning light, a companion in the night. We danced a slow and solo sway and faced the closing of the day, a pair of one, a faded heart, me and the outline of my heart. Then your lights changed the angle of the room, chased away the solitary gloom, and my shadow thin and stretched and blue is ours. We walk through fields of afternoon, beneath a generous golden moon, and I watch our combined design stretch and weave and intertwine, a perfect dark and lovely thread, where every lonely fear has fled. A single story, deep and true, written by the light and you. And they can seek the brightest of light on some distant lonely high, but I found heaven in the shade we make, with every single step we take. The greatest work of art I've ever seen is this quiet, constant, loving sheen of two made one against the ground. The most peaceful sight, the softest sound, is our single shadow safe and found. Now my shadow isn't lonely, it's woven into yours. The only truth I need when day is through, that I am always next to you. It's a breathtaking and gentle peace, a joyful, worry-free release, to see our single form on the floor and know I'll never be just one shadow anymore. My shadow is all. My shadow, our shadow. One long lovely belonging shadow. I built my lighthouse strong and tall, against the waves, against the squall. My lonely light, my steady beam, my solitary coastal dream. I warn the ships to stay away, to find another safer bay. Song, not crashing waves but tender strong, a melody from deep below that called my guarded heart to know, not shipwreck but a different shore. I'd never dare to hope for more. Now I siren and call you, to crash but to break through, to still burns, but not for me. To keep me safe, to keep me free, but just to guide you through the night, to where my harbor holds the light. My old defenses laid aside, become the place where you reside. To wreck, but to welcome home. I siren call you here to me. Had my quiet practice start of building walls around my heart. I knew the shade, I knew the space of my own solitary place. The mirror showed a steady view of someone I already knew. Then you appeared not as a guest, but as the answer to the test. I didn't know that I was taking my careful, guarded spirit shaking, not with fear, but with a grace that softened every hidden place. And now I see your face in every quiet, empty space. Not as a ghost, not as a trace, but as my home, my resting place. It's the calmest kind of thrill, the gentle way the world stands still. When my eyes find where they belong, in a love both deep and strong, I see your face. The morning light, the evening shade, the plans we make, the peace we've made. In all the simple, steady things, my quiet heart just softly sings a hymn of gratitude and peace, where all the lonely worries cease. And they can search the whole world through for something bright and wild and new, but I have found my sacred ground in such a simple, common sound as your laughter in the air, the proof that someone truly cares. The greatest sight I'll ever know watching your love softly grow. And now I see your face in every quiet, holy place. Not as a dream, not as a change, but as my steady saving grace. It's the deepest kind of peace, where all my restless searching cease. When my eyes find where they belong, in a love both deep and strong, I see your face. I see not just with eyes, but with my soul. Finally whole, I see your face. They might
The scientists, they look for years, through telescopes, through hopes, through fears, for proof of life in distant stars beyond our atmosphere. And Mars, I had my own more private space, a quiet, solitary place. No signal sent, no contact made, and choices that I gently lay. Then you appeared, a frequency, a calm and quiet clarity, not from the stars, but from next door. A truth I couldn't ignore, a signal strong and sweet and clear that told me love was very near. And they found something out in space, a mystery, a hiding place. But I found something here on earth, of truer, deeper, quieter worth. A love that doesn't need to shout, to tell me what it's all about. And they found something light years away. I found my universe today, right here with you. They'll write their papers, make their claims of cosmic, vast and distant names, but I have proof of gentle grace in the quiet of your face. A gravity that pulls me near and conquers every lonely fear. A science that they'll never know, in the peaceful, steady glow. And they can search the endless night that we take to build a world of simple truth, from the wisdom of our youth and from this love we share. And they found something out in space, a wonder, an amazing place. But I found something here and now that tells me why and tells me how. That tells it leads to fly, the tender, quiet way we move. And they found something beyond the blue. I found my everything in you, right here with you. They found something out there, out there. I found something right here in you.
My great discover, my quiet clearing, everything.
I used to watch the world go by from a quiet window with a sigh. See lovers holding hands and smile, and tell myself it's just a while before the credits start to roll, and I'd play my own lonely role, a silent extra in the scene where my heart was felt but never seen. Then you walked onto my set, a co-star I will not forget. And suddenly I'm in the frame, no longer watching from the name of someone else or just a friend. The story has a different end, because the cameras turned on me, and you're the only one I see. Now I'm not watching anymore. I'm living, loving, being for the first time in line. Quiet lies, away from all the lonely strife of being just a pair of eyes under the vast and starry skies. It's hard, my heart, to take the part, to play the lead inside your heart. No more watching from the side, with nothing left for me to hide. The world still moves, blur outside, but I have nothing left to hide. Inside this quiet, loving space, the smile upon your gentle face is all the action I will need to plant my lonely wait and seed, and watch it grow into a tree of what you've always meant to me. And they can have their crowded screens, their dramatic, wild and vivid scenes. I found my plot, my simple arc, here in the quiet and the dark, where the greatest show I'll ever know is the gentle way with you. I had a map of where I'd go, a path I'd walk, a pace I'd know, a list of things to love alone, a life of quiet, solid stone. I thought my eyes were open wide, with nothing left to see inside. Then you stepped into my steady view, a color I had never knew existed in my black and white, a soft and unexpected light that didn't blind me, didn't shake, it just made my whole world wake. Now I see what peace was meant to be, not the absence of the ache, but the ground that we both make, a steady, thrilling, quiet place, a rhythm not erased. Now I see what love was meant to be, not a fire, not a need, but a quiet, perfect seed that grew into this tree. Now I see. The mornings don't just break, they bloom in your familiar sunlit room. The evenings don't just fade, they rest against the heartbeat in your chest. And everything I thought I knew was just a preview leading to this quiet understanding deep, this promise that my soul will keep, not out of duty, not from fear, but from the simple truth so clear that all the lonely, all the gray was just the price I had to pay for this, for you, for what we've made in this gentle, lovely shade. Now I see what peace was meant to be, not the closing of a door, but the opening of more, a steady, thrilling, quiet grace, a smile upon your face. Now I see what love was meant to be, not a storm, not a plea, but a deep and silent sea, where my soul is finally free. Now I see, I see you, I see us, I see finally. Now I see. I learned the sound of my own steps on pathways full of my regrets. The echo was my only friend from the beginning to the end. I walked the miles of my own mind and left the lonely world behind. Same old road looks different now. With your hand in mine, somehow the hills aren't steep, the miles aren't long. With you to share this quiet song, the destination matters less than this profound and sweet success. And they can have their grand arrivals, their crosses on the maps, their alter egos. I found my glory in the dust, in the ordinary sacred trust that every step I take, you'll take it too. And every sky I see, you'll see it blue. The journey wasn't wrong before it was rehearsal for this door, this open, endless walking grace, this quiet smile upon your face. Now you're walking beside me, my calm, my thrill, my truth, my key. The peace isn't in the standing still, but in the climb up any hill. Together, step by step, every lonely memory has finally slept. This is the famous feeling, wild and free, of you just walking beside me. Walking, not chasing, not racing, just walking beside me. Finally, walking beside me. I had perfected solar flight, the silent meals in fading light, my own applause for getting through the things I didn't have to do for anyone but my own soul. Playing a solitary role, I called it strength, I called it peace, a quiet, lonely, sweet release. Then you asked to see the script of my one-person manuscript, and didn't rewrite any lines, just moved your chair across the shines of my own solitary stage, and softly turned another page that said Act 2 and changed the name of my one solitary game. And I'm not solo alone anymore. You walked in through the side stage door, not to upstage or steal The spotlight's softer, wider now. It finds your face, it shows me how. A duet's better than one voice when given the perfect choice. To share the stage, to share the art that's mending my once lonely heart. With quiet lines and gentle looks, and sharing all my favorite books. And they can have their crowded scenes, their complicated wild routines. I've found my truth in the simple fact that you are here, and that's the act that matters more than any play. At the closing of the day, the greatest role I'll ever own is not being solo alone. No, I'm not solo alone anymore. You're the one I was waiting for, not to complete some missing part, but to be the other heart that beats in time, that finds the rhyme in this beautiful, peaceful time. I'm not solo alone, it's true. In everything I do with you, in the quiet, in the calm, in the art of two becoming one heart. So rehearsal together as the performers finally. I was a clock without a face, just hands that moved from place to place. A ticking in an empty room, a metronome of lonely doom. Counting seconds I would waste in my self-made quiet haste. Then time slowed, the second hand just glowed and settled in a gentle pace upon the quiet of your face. Time slowed to a heartbeat's rhyme, a perfect, patient, loving time. Time slowed, and I was finally found. Now minutes are like liquid gold, a story waiting to be told. With you in every single frame, a love I never thought to name. No rush, no frantic, no pretend, just beginning without end. And they can chase the frantic now with worry lines upon their brow. I found forever in this pause, in a love without a cause, except to be, except to stay in our gentle, slow ballet. that mended my once broken heart. Time slowed, and I was finally home. Time slowed for us. We used to hold the lonely tight, like a favorite blanket in the night, a comfort in its constant take, a choice we thought we had to make, to keep the peace, to play it safe, to be the hero, not the wave, to build a life on just in case, a quiet solitary space. Then we looked up and saw the light, not blinding but just soft and bright, and realized the hands we fought were holding on to what we got, were actually just holding back a truth we'd wandered off the track from, finding in each other's eyes our own most beautiful surprise. And now we're letting go of all the lonely that we know, not with a crash but with a sigh, a peaceful feeling passing by. We're letting go of separate shores to be one ocean, one that roars with quiet joy and steady peace, where all the lonely worries cease. We're letting go. The hands unclench, the walls come down. No more a fortress, but a town where two can walk and two can be in gentle, sweet community. No more the burden of the eye, but the tender, hopeful you and I, becoming something strong and new and beautiful and learned to love the open sky, the way the lonely hours fly, unnoticed on a quiet breeze, through bare and unencumbered trees. I made my peace with empty hands and wide, uncomplicated lands. Then I saw you soft and light, a flutter in my morning side. And instead of watching you go free, I opened up my hand to see if you would choose of your own will my gentle space and be more still. Now I hold a butterfly in hand, not caught or caged, but in a silent, soft demand of trust, of peace, of staying near. The sweetest thing I've ever held, so dear. It's not a grip, it's just a cup, a tender way to hold love up, the quiet thrill, the trembling grace of something wild in this safe space. My butterfly in hand. I feel the beating of your wings against my palm. The song it brings is not a flight away from me, but of a chosen destiny. To rest, to trust, to understand, the peace of an unclenching hand. And they can keep their cages gold, their frantic stories bought and sold. I found my heaven in the chance of this one delicate slow dance, where freedom isn't letting go, but having somewhere soft to go. A landing place, a steady friend, from now until the very end. And I hold my butterfly in hand, not trapped or tied, but on this sacred promised land of calm, of choice, of staying true. The most beautiful thing I'll ever do. It's not a net, it's just a home, a place you never have to roam. The peaceful fire, the gentle brand of your wings against my hand. My butterfly in not captured, chosen, my a sanctuary, butterfly in hand, heart at peace.